Welcome back to a lesson where we learn about the truncate table statement. The truncate table statement deletes all of the rows in a particular table. Now, you would think, why don't we use the delete statement? Well, the delete statement deletes rows row by row. The truncate table deletes all of the rows at once. So performance-wise, the truncate statement is much faster. Also, you would think, why don't we drop a table and then recreate it, as this would be a fast way to delete all the data present in a table. Well, the truncate table leaves all the triggers, indexes, and the table structure intact, while deleting all of the data present in it. So all rows are deleted after we truncate a table. Also, to consider, a truncate table statement, it's a DDL statement. So an implicit commit is performed, as in we cannot do a rollback after we perform a truncate table statement. Let's go to some examples to see how this works. So in my first example, I'm gonna create a table with the name bookstore. It's gonna have 3 columns: bookstore ID, which is my primary key, a bookstore name, and the location of the bookstore. Let's create this. Okay, and let's insert 2 rows to it. And my rows are now inserted. We can commit that, so my changes are saved to the database. And let's check the state. As we can see, 2 rows are present. Now, as I said, we could use the delete command, and this is completely fine. Only we would have to make a commit after we make a deletion. So let's try it out. So my 2 rows are now deleted, but I could make a rollback. And if I check the state, those 2 rows are present. If I truncate that table, let's truncate it. Excellent. And let's try to roll back the changes. Rollback is complete, and my 2 rows should not be present. Let's drop that table, as we do not need it at the moment. In the following example, I'm going to create 2 tables that have reference to each other. My first table is, again, the bookstore. The structure is completely the same, so let's create it. And my second table is going to be book, which will have a foreign key, or the reference, to my bookstore table. The reference is on my bookstore ID, the same name in the book table, and it's going to reference the bookstore ID on the bookstore table. Additionally, on this constraint, I'm adding the onDelete cascade. That means that any record that is deleted from the bookstore table that has some particular bookstore ID, it will automatically delete all of the rows in the book table that have foreign key bookstore ID, the same as the one we are deleting from the bookstore table. Cool. So let's create that child table, and let's insert some data to our tables. In my bookstore table, I'm going to insert 2 records, the Neverland books and the Big Letter books. So my 2 rows are inserted. And into my book table, I'm going to insert 4 rows. The Tom Sawyer book and the Huckleberry Finn book are going to reference to the Neverland books. And the Economics 1 and Economics 2 are going to reference to the Big Letter books bookstore. Right? This is connected with the foreign key. So my foreign key is the primary key on the parent table. Let's insert those 4 rows. Excellent. And let's commit that work, so my changes are preserved. Excellent. Let's check the state of the tables. This is my bookstore, 2 rows are present, and the book table, where are 4 rows present. Nice. Now, with the delete command, we would delete 2 rows from the bookstore, right? But since we have the onDelete on my reference constraint, it will also delete all of the records in the book table, which have the bookstore IDs, which I'm deleting. So in my case, I have 42 and 73, and I have 4 records with 42 and 73, right? Let's try this out. The output is that 2 rows are deleted, right? If I check the bookstore, it is empty. And if I check the book table, it's going to be empty, As said, we have the onDelete cascade on my foreign key constraint, right? Let's check it out. It is deleted. Let's roll back work to see how this works with the truncate table statement. Just to check the state of the tables at the moment, bookstore is populated, and the book table is also populated. Nice. Now, I'm gonna try to execute my truncate table bookstore. This is gonna fail because we have constraints that reference to my bookstore table. So I'm not gonna be able to empty it out. As we can see, Oracle right away throws an error to us. However, there is a way to truncate that table the same as with the delete. So the cascade will be considered. So in my truncate table statement, I can just write cascade, right? And this will work in the same manner as with the delete statement. Let's execute it. Nice. So now my table bookstore is truncated, and let's check the state of the tables. So my bookstore is empty, and my book table is also empty. So it did cascade on the child table. Excellent. And also, as we mentioned that the truncate is a DDL statement, an implicit commit has been performed, so we cannot roll back work. Let's try to roll back. Rollback is complete. However, no data will be present, as we can see. This is it for this lesson. Check the provided resource under the lesson, try some examples for yourself, and see you in the next one.